What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video of price action trading. Now it is Monday, April 19, and we're looking at S&P 500 2000 tick chart. And the first thing I like to do before I start trading, I like to analyze the pre-market structure. And what I can see is the prices are looking like we are in a trading range, very slow volatility. But I can see that there's some sort of support at the lows right here. I can see also that there is a channel working up higher. We have a break and a new high, and this is the rule of the trend line. After break of a trend line, there's going to be a retest of a new extreme. So this bullish trend line has played out. Right now we are trading lower and we have a overshoot. So we have a break, and overshoots of a trend line will lead to break of the trend line to the opposite direction or straight up reversal. And we can also have some form of resistance at the highs, which I'm not really sure where it is. Now we have a gap here, but I'm not really worried about the gap anymore because the gap was filled within like 5 hours of trading. So the traders already see this gap filled, so we don't have to no longer worry about it. But so far the market structure is looking very slow, and I would be expecting for prices to reach the support right here because we have a break and we're expecting a new low of this downtrend working lower. Alright, so it's been a few minutes since market opened, but right now, the market really is undecisive. We're inside of this trading range, we're in the middle, and that's not how you trade trading ranges. You trade trading ranges, you buy the lows, or you sell the highs, or you fade the breakouts. But right now we're in this mess. This looks like a little bit of congestion. We broke higher, we pulled back, but we are now, having some, support at the EMA. But like I said, we're in the middle of trading range and I'm not really sure what's going to happen. So the best thing for me to do is I'm just going to sit on my hands and be patient, because that's how you most likely get chopped into pieces and you'll make mistakes if you just force to trade. So I'm not going to force the trade. I already made that mistake 1,000 times before. So I'm just going to sit on my hands and see what happens. But the market is looking very slow, unfortunately. All right, so I'm about to put my limit order in the market, because what I'm looking at, you guys can't see it because there's going to be, you guys cannot see it, but oh, you can actually. There is this resistance forming, and I may get the feeling that the resistance of the range may be slightly lower. Let me see, it maybe look like here, but we already made a double top right here, and we have a first entry short, second entry short, but I still wasn't feeling the double top right here because it looked like we're still in the middle of trading range. But once we had this one more push higher and then this nice reversal bearish bar, this is where I like taking the trade, because now it is a triple top right here. And I'm going for 3 contracts as a scalp portion, but I'm only going for 8 ticks. I'm now no longer going for 10 ticks today because the market is looking extremely small, and I don't want to, I don't like taking a 2.5 point target profit when the market is extremely slow. So I'm going for 8 tick, but you guys can see the risk to reward ratio is still fantastic, and I'm leaving my 1 contract as a runner just in case anything happens, anything unexpected. I don't want to leave money on the table. But we have a triple top right here, and we have this nice bearish bar, reversal bar, but more importantly we have a first entry short, second entry short, and it looks like it's going to fail. So I think a lot of bulls got trapped going long into this resistance. Well, with that being said, I really don't like this following signal bar, because this is a bullish bar and the EMA is looking like it's holding prices, so it makes me wonder if I entered a little bit too early. But I still like this trade. I like this as a trap for people who went long, into this resistance, into this double top. Let's see. And it looks like we may get, stopped out on our first trade here. I probably overlooked how the EMA is holding prices nicely. But I still like the fact that there's such a triple top, and the way, because a lot of people who went long here, they probably started panicking when this bar finished. And I still think this is a good trade, but we may get trapped here because this is not a good follow-up bar that I wanted to see. This is a nice reversal bullish bar, but still, I teach you guys not to move your stop losses, so we're most likely going to get stopped out here. But I'm gonna keep my stop loss 1 tick above my signal bar, my entry bar. Makes me wonder if, but I don't really think the trading range is way up here. I think the trading range is much smaller, and I think we were very close to the highs. So this is why I like taking the trade. We're one tick away from getting stopped out here. Yeah. There is some, once again, you guys can see that there's some resistance and there's some selling happening exactly at the resistance. And I think a lot of people are looking at the same thing that I'm looking. And you know, you want to sell this high as you can. We have a first entry short, second entry short, but I still thought it's way too early to go short above the EMA. But with this trap, felt second entry short failure, and it actually failed. You know, at least I thought it was gonna fail. I really like this. Looks like we're still in this trade, hanging on, but just by one single tick. This is why you put your stop loss one tick above the swing or the signal bar. You don't want to be afraid that you're going to lose the money and put it in the middle. This, you know, whatever you're afraid of, that's what's going to happen. So always keep your stop loss above the swing. Help the market structure to protect your stop loss. And we had this beautiful bearish bar, but unfortunately it's looking like there's still some buyers at the EMA going long, you know, so I'm starting to doubt this trade. Yeah, we're probably gonna get trapped here. This is the kind of day that I hate. You know, just nothing really much happening, very slow. We're in the middle of trading range. You know, it's, you know, you're not really getting good setups. It's hard to find key entry points. But you know, this resistance is clear and you cannot ignore this. You cannot go long into this. I mean, I wouldn't be going long into this resistance, even though the EMA is holding prices nicely here. That's not the way, because we already have a break and a new high, or attempt to make a new high. We have this triple top, now quadruple top. I think if we break below these bars, because that's where a lot of people keep their stops probably, we can make our 8-tick scalp. Come on. All right, so we're still in this trade, and there was a trap at the EMA here, and I hope we can get the next push down, because if we trap, this is a lower high of this high, and now you definitely have a quadruple top, and you cannot go long in such a quadruple top. Come on, let's go. We're bouncing off our order. Unfortunately, we have to take through, and we got out. So I'm gonna leave my runner probably a few ticks below this support. I'm expecting some bounce at the support here. And, you know, this is looking like a trading range. So I'm expecting for prices to go up and down, up and down. So, you know, I don't really, you know, have high hopes of this runner going much lower, but we can make it to this support. And what I'm going to be playing it, I'm going to be moving my stop loss as we keep making swings. And I'm going to be putting one tick above each swing. This is, I'm going to be basically trailing my stop loss. So, all right, so I'm about to move my stop loss one tick above this swing. I had it above this swing, now I'm putting it above this swing, because I really am starting to think we may get stopped out here, because we're now bouncing off the support, and you know, there's a lot of, you know, resting orders just lying there. Probably people starting to buy in blindly. So, you know, I'm expecting some sort of bounce off of here, but, you know, I'm still going to keep the runner. I'm just going to play it like this. You know, you already know how I play the runner. One tick above the each swing, and it looks like actually sellers are starting to go hard in the market. The run is starting to be fairly good now, $600. Whoa. We're starting to sell off here. What is the, are we going to make the measured move? We may. if I measure the trading range like this, and I'm gonna copy it, we may make the second tier of trading range. Wow, look at the sellers. Sellers starting to come in pretty nicely. There's some trend line here. All right, so we made another swing, so I'm gonna tighten my stop loss. This is looking very good runner. We're $737 in, of course, minus the commission. But you know, this is why you don't buy blindly. This is why you don't wanna, you know, just blindly put a limit order here and buy it. It probably will work for scalp, but you really want to wait for high probability setup at this key entry point. But right now we are in this strong downtrend. EMA is pointing down like this, and you know, we're far away from EMA, so we may definitely now get a little bit of pullback to the EMA, because look how far away we are from EMA, and the EMA acts as a magnet. It also, you know, keeps telling us what the trend it is, because this is a downtrend. EMA is pointing down like this, but you're so far away from EMA that this is why I really want to tighten my stop, because we may, you know, definitely pull back a little bit to the EMA. I just don't want to risk, you know, my runner completely getting stopped out in the middle like this. So this would be a good runner. This is why you always want to, as soon as you make it with the scalps, you always just want to start holding the runners, because it will completely change the math, and you will, you know, trade it, you know, much more carefree. So we got stopped out here. You know, I really tightened it, but now we have a first break of this downtrend, so I'm expecting a potential retest of this new low. All right, so I'm about to put my limit order here at the close. Hopefully we don't get too low. I'm just gonna chase it just a little bit, or no, we may get filled. What I'm looking at, we have this nice bearish bar that, you know, coming off the EMA, and so we already have a break and a new low, but I still think this is such a strong sell-off. We might get a second leg to a new low. So let's see what happens. You know, my voice is getting a little bit hoarse today, so I apologize. I'm not able to explain things as I normally am. But I'm looking for the new low, because nice bearish bar off the EMA. Hopefully I'm not too aggressive here, because this is starting to look a little bit like we may get some support here, but there's still a little bit of room here. Hopefully I'm not too aggressive here. Such a nice bar off the EMA. I really think we're gonna make the scalp here. Come on. I mean, we are very close to these lows. There's a, you know, we're going, you know, this is definitely a little bit more aggressive. If you're a beginner, you definitely don't want to go short into these lows on just a first entry, but you know, I like sometimes to take those a little bit more aggressive trades, because after such a strong move like this, and the measured move of a trading range is all the way down here, so we can still make it down here. All right, then the unfortunate, you may get stopped out here. We're one tick away from getting stopped out here. And we got stopped out. So yeah, I shouldn't have went short into this support here. Looking back, you know, I probably, you know, this is what happens. You know, I had such a good runner that I think I was a little bit too overconfident, and because, you know, that can happen too. You start to feel like you can read the market really well. You get invincible, and you know, unfortunately pay the price for it. But I still think it wasn't such a bad trade. It was just the first entry, and there was some support, but I really thought we were gonna make the measured move. So well, that happens. So I see a breakout pullback pattern here, and I'm gonna put my, I'm gonna put my limit order in. And what I'm looking at is, we had a little bit of a reversal here. We have this trend line working up higher. We pushed above the EMA, and we have a break. We have a second entry long here, and we have a new high of this uptrend. So this uptrend, you know, should be played out. But mostly what I'm looking at, this support that acted as a support previously, we broke below it and we came back, we retested it, and now acts as a resistance. And I'm once again going for these 8 ticks as a scalp, and I'm going to leave my 1 contract as a runner. So you guys can see we're getting a little bit of a selling momentum happening here, because we already have a new high right here. And I look at this as a breakout pullback trade. This is the pullback to this resistance now. So let's see what happens. Why it's showing me the 2? Do you guys see these 2 arrows here? It's a little bit weird. So I'm resuming the trade, and we got a little bit stalled here, and prices are working against our stop loss right now. And we're starting to get a little bit choppy here at this resistance slash support buy, really. And look how sellers are starting to jump on board here. This is what I think is going to happen, because, you know, this is such a common pattern. When you broke this support, you will come back and you will retest this. And with this uptrend that already played out, and we already have a new high, you know, this uptrend is over, and we're basically now selling the resistance. And looking back, yeah, I definitely probably shouldn't have went short here into this support. There's many lows. Look how tight this is. You know, I just got a little bit greedy with the kind of runner I had. This is a new high. First entry long, pullback. Second entry long. If we trigger below this bar, we're definitely gonna go lower. Now we have a second entry long trap. We're still in the second entry long trade right now. You guys can see there's a lot of people still buying, but you know, definitely starting to get congestive now. It's kind of similar pattern to what happened up here. You guys can see it's kind of similar pattern what happened up here. You already have a break new high, and there's a multiple tops right here, just like here, multiple tops. All right, prices are breaking below this second entry long failure right now, so we may get them trapped. So, and you guys can see this is how, you know, you usually can recognize the trap. It keeps bursting out. So hopefully we can make the scalp here. First entry long, second entry long, big bearish reversal bar. We had an inside bar here, and now we're going lower. Come on. You know, very similar pattern to what happened up here. A lot of people going long to the resistance way too late. We're 1 tick away from getting filled. You know, I tightened my target profit to 8 ticks, and you guys can see it's still here. It would have worked for much more than that, but you know, the volatility is really slow. It's pretty obvious. So, and we got out. Perfect. So I'm gonna put my stop loss at break even, and I'm gonna keep moving the runner, and I'm gonna be playing the same way as I played it here. As we keep making new swings. Well, we're actually starting off quite big time here. We're probably gonna retest this measured move of a trading range. All right, so this runner keeps going and going, but we are not making a swings, and we already moved so far away from EMA. Look how far away we are from EMA. So I'm gonna put my stop loss at least to the middle of this move, because we didn't make a new swing just like we made here or here. We just keep working out lower and lower. So I don't really want to give back in case anything goes wrong, because look how, you know, we're way overdue for a correction. So I really cannot keep my stop loss at my initial break-even entry point. I really have to move it at least to the middle and hope we can get a swing here, and I'm going to tighten it back. But market is really weak right now, and look how this is almost the exact thing that happened. This is a repeat pattern once again, a lot of people went long all the way up here into this resistance, and they were way too late, just like up here, and you know, the market, you know, they got trapped, the market sold off. Same thing as here, they got trapped and market sold off. This is why I liked taking this trade, because the exact same thing happened up here. Thing is, we already made the measured move right here, and I'm eyeballing this bigger trend line working lower. So right now we may go even into full-on downtrend, and we just keep selling off. Look at this, guys. I'm really tempting to take this runner. I'm really tempted to take this runner. This is once again another $600 right now worth over a runner. I'm really tempting to take this, but at the same time I don't want to leave money on the table. So this is the dilemma you have with trading runners. 700 runner, come on, man. I'm just gonna put it a little bit, because we're still, you know, we have to pull back to EMA soon. We're way overdue. I wasn't really expecting such a sell-off. This is crazy. And it keeps going. This is fantastic. And this is why you want to keep the runners. You have to go for runners. You have to. Scalping is fantastic. You know, I love scalping. That's the bread and butter of my, you know, trading. But I mean, you don't really catch a lot of runners like this, but when you do, you really want to take advantage of these. All right, so we made a swing right here. We broke below this bar. This is the new low, so I'm going to, and we got stopped out here, you know, but no surprise, because we were way overdue to get to this EMA. But it was a fantastic runner. Two great runners today. Really good day today. Unfortunately, I got, you know, I'm probably gonna stop trading now, but you know, this is what happens sometimes. Sometimes you get a good runner and you feel invincible and you get a little bit too cocky, and I went short on the first entry into this support right here. So you know, that was my mistake. That's really not a high probability setup here, but you know, overall it started looking very slow and very choppy. I really had no idea what to do right here. I couldn't take no trade because, you know, who knows what can happen right here. And with this triple top right here and this trap right here, we got a little bit lucky here, and repeat pattern happened just right here. But yeah, we may go into a little bit downtrend, but you know, so I'm gonna wrap it up. If you made it to this very end to the video, you know, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like these. So take care, everybody.